Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Warships with Rear Admiral Jingles. Of course, the big news in World of Warships is that the British battleships are out as of, well, yesterday. And I already have my Tier 8 HMS Monarch. A bit annoyed about that actually, because, well, I would have unlocked free access to the Bellerophon at Tier 3, the Orion at Tier 4, the Iron Duke at Tier 5, and I would have had enough free experience stockpile to blast my way all the way through to the Conqueror at Tier 10, if it wasn't for the fact that my internet connection was down for 5 days and I couldn't play the bloody game. So, yeah, a bit annoying. But I have HMS Monarch and it's fantastic, so it's all good. Today, it's a battleship replay, but it's not a British battleship replay. This is a replay that I had sent to me by Flamu, who you may all know and love. Very, very famous World of Warships player. This is one of his other accounts, however. Poitato, get it? Kantai Collection reference? No, never mind. And I think this is his Russian server account. And he's in the German Tier 10 battleship, the Großer Kurfürst. Here on the, well, pretty much universally despised Tears of the Desert map. Why does everybody hate this map, Jingles? Well, it's the camp around the islands for the entire game without moving map. Flamu isn't going to be doing a huge amount of that in this game, however. Strengths of the German Tier 10 battleship, the big fat Currywurst. Well, for a start, she's pretty quick. She has a top speed of 30 knots. She doesn't turn very well, however, and that's basically a consequence of hydrodynamics. When you have something that's very, very long, like the Großer Kurfürst, and very narrow, it's quick in a straight line, but it takes forever to turn around. Her broadside is one of the heaviest in the games. Her guns aren't as big as the Yamato's. Nobody's ever going to get guns as big as the Yamato. But she has a choice of either 406 or 420mm guns. She has 12 of them. And if they manage to land a substantial number of these shots on target in the right place, this ship can one-shot kill any other ship in the game. She's not alone in being able to do that, of course. The Montana has a devastatingly heavy broadside as well. Downside, she actually has the thinnest belt armour at only 380mm of the Tier 10 battleships. Which means that while she does have turtleback armour covering the citadel, which makes it very difficult to citadel this ship, armour-piercing hits fired straight into the broadside flank of this ship will do considerable amounts of damage. There's the enemy Yamato, and he's already spotted and fired at the Bismarck just off Flamu's port beam. Flamu returning fire with his main guns. Yamato misses the Bismarck, and one penetration, two over penetrations, 6,700 damage. Not bad. The other great thing about the Großer Kurfürst, although it's not going to be much use right now, is the secondary gun batteries. This ship has, I think, 20 128mm secondaries, and something like 8 150mm secondaries, and they have a range, before applying upgrades, of 7.7 kilometers. Oh, enemy cruiser spotted. Always take the opportunity to delete a cruiser if you get the chance. And, yep, that'll do. That never gets old. Oh, you see, this is why people play battleships. This is why they put up with the RNG associated with pulling the trigger on the main battery guns, rolling the dice and just guessing where the shots are going to land. Because when it all comes together, oh, that wasn't bad either, nearly 5,000 damage on the enemy destroyer that looked like he'd run himself aground there. But when it all comes together and, you know, the stars line up and the shots go where you aim them, you get results like that. He's now up to 50,000 damage. Thank you, Megami. Oh, and check out the Lo Yang up ahead that first spotted the Yamato for them. He's laying a smoke screen for the Bismarck and, of course, for Flamu. Excellent team play there. Unfortunately for the Bismarck, he was going a little bit too fast, and now he's slowed his ass down to try to stay inside the smokescreen, and that's left him basically stationary broadside onto a Yamato and a Frederick the Great, the German Tier 9 battleship. Flamu's put some shots out the direction of the Frederick, scored a couple of hits, 10,000 damage, not bad, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to take advantage of that smoke screen either. The Bismarck's putting on speed and getting into cover behind the island over there, and if Flamu was to slow down and turn to get into the smoke screen, that would render him vulnerable to a broadside shot from the Yamato straight into his relatively thin belt armour. So, Lo Yang, thanks, but we're not going to bother. Now, he put some shots into the Frederick the Great over there with his forward turrets, and the Yamato is still bow tanking, although he's just coming in range of his secondaries and they're about to start opening up on him. There's a smoke screen up ahead. That's the Ognavoid that did about 5,000 damage to earlier, so he's got his sonar activated. He's anticipating torpedoes to be following up the sporadic high explosive low caliber gunfire coming in from that smoke screen. He managed to get the rear turrets swung around and put some more shots into the Frederick the Great, but wasn't really able to take advantage of his turning around and score significant damage to him. He's still being targeted by both the Yamato and the Frederick the Great. And the Yamato's burning quite nicely and is now shooting back at him, and there's the Ognavoid. So he focuses him with his secondaries, and, well, since his main battery guns are pointing that way anyway, what the hell, there we go, there's another kill. And this is quite a dangerous moment, because he had to point the nose of the ship towards the Ognavoid, anticipating the torpedoes, and there are the torpedoes. And his secondaries are raining more death and destruction down on the Yamato, but he's forced to turn pretty much broadside on to both the Yamato and the Frederick the Great in order to not run into all of those torpedoes. Now, the upside of continuing on this course is that he does have some very, very good... There it is! Okay, a couple of shatters, a couple of overpenetrations, but he got the Citadel where he needed it. And his secondaries were on the verge of finishing the Yamato off when the fire set by the Lo Yang claimed the kill. And suddenly, old Freddy the Great over there is, well, he's fresh out of Friends. Shots out. Can we finish him off? It would be nice. It's already up to 100,000 damage. Not bad. It's going to require a few more shots, however. And he's furiously pinging the map there for the rest of the team, all hugging the map border. Come on, get stuck in. It's one battleship. What are you afraid of? And while he did take a substantial amount of damage there when he was forced to turn broadside on at those two enemy battleships, the Frederick the Great has, well, pretty much the same problem. Because, well, where can he go? He can only sail towards the map border. If he was to head back in the direction of the rest of his team, he would have to give the complete 90-degree flat broadside shots right into his ship, when there's a grosser Kurfürst sitting over here. As it is, he's being forced to expose an uncomfortable amount of the side of the ship in order to just head towards the map border. So, yeah, I don't really envy him the position he's just found himself in either. Some nice support from the Lo Yang up here as well. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but I suspect he probably is, because he does seem like that kind of team-focused player, but he's putting himself ahead of Flamu's ship, ready in a position to lay down another smoke screen. Right as, well, once they've finished off this Frederick the Great, which shouldn't take too much longer, not with the amount of ships shooting at him, they're going to round the island up ahead and come within view of both the enemy cap circle and the rest of the enemy fleet. They just need to finish this Frederick the Great off before that happens, because there's not an awful lot of point in hiding behind a smoke screen that shields you from one side of the enemy team when you've got that guy over there still spotting you. So he needs to die, and he needs to die now. There we go. Okay, 127,000, and there it is. Yep, I suspected the Lo Yang was going to do exactly that. What a fantastic team player. And it's cost him half of his health as well. I mean, that was purely and simply because they took their time finishing off the Frederick the Great, so as he steamed around that corner, that German battleship was still spotting him, but he should be relatively safe now. Unless, of course, the enemy have radar. And Flamu is now hidden, nice and safe, inside that fantastic Lo Yang player's smokescreen. So, Flamu's going to have some fun now. And, well, we all know that smokescreens are torpedo magnets, but the Grosser Kurfürst, of course, has sonar, and it's off cooldown and ready to go, just in case anything bearing torpedoes gets close enough to pose a threat. Swinging the ship around, going for the Bismarck. He's going to have to be careful to position properly here in order to bring all of his guns around to bear on all of those enemy ships heading in this direction without wandering out the smokescreen. Scored a hit on the Bismarck, but just an over-penetration. And now the Bismarck has disappeared from view. Other enemy ships, not all of which are in range. And check out the Lo Yang again. He ceases fire, and he noses out of the smoke screen in order to spot fresh targets for him. What an absolute rock star that Lo Yang is. And, ooh, check that one out. It's the Conqueror. This must be one of the Russian super testers. And he obviously knows he's been spotted. And, oh look, there's a Shimakaze here as well. With a Bismarck and a Conqueror, both inside torpedo range. So the Shimakaze launches a wall of skill at those two enemy battleships. The Conqueror, of course, is in the turn. And it looks like the Bismarck's turned around again and is heading back this way. Doesn't have fantastic shots at the Conqueror or the Bismarck just yet. They're turning nose in order to bow tank, but he's got some very, very good shots at that North Carolina. With a target like that, it would be rude not to shoot at him. Yeah. We'll take it. Damage is damage. Disappointing not to get some citadels, however, but he's reversing and swinging the rear turrets around, and he's looking for the best possible target, and that Conqueror has taken one hell of a beating. His damage repair must be on cooldown. Now the Shimakaze is laying a smokescreen. The Bismarck is burning very, very nicely. Didn't have a particularly great target to shoot at there, so, and again, a penetration, some over-penetrations. The Lo Yang smokescreen has died, but I think that Conqueror is about to go. He's now taking advantage of the smokescreen laid by the Shimakaze. His secondaries are opening up. But I think the Conqueror... Yep, the Conqueror is... His damage repair has come off cooldown, so he's recovering health at a phenomenal rate. Bismarck, however, showing a very, very big target. And of course the smokescreen from the Shimakaze is dissipating now, so Flamu starts turning. Fresh torpedoes in the water, but they're going to be probably from the Lo Yang. Focusing the secondaries on the Conqueror, hoping to start a fire. Fresh torpedoes in the water there from a friendly Megami, who's now hiding inside the remnant of the Shimakaze's smokescreen. Flamu broadsides and sinks the Bismarck. Secondaries now concentrated, and pay attention, by the way, to those torpedoes fired by the Megami. We can't see the Megami himself, but he's right there behind Flamu. Secondaries focused on the Conqueror. Conqueror forced to turn in order to avoid the torpedoes fired by the Megami. Enemy North Carolina's turning away. The Conqueror is about to die. The major threat to Flamu's ship right now is that Megami, who just got himself citadeled right through the front. And check out the torpedoes going for the North Carolina, fired by the friendly Megami. One of them is about to strike the stern of the ship, and bang, detonation. 20,000 damage from one torpedo. But the major threat now is the enemy Megami. He's going to be able to get his torpedoes away. It's going to cost him. Flamu's got his secondaries focused on him. Secondaries finish him off. Kraken unleashed. And that absolute rock star in the Lo Yang comes to the rescue yet again with another smokescreen to shield him from the Chapayev, and then bonus torpedo beats. Yeah, not even close. And oh, hello, Mr. Chapayev, where have all your friends gone? Yeah, well, and again, you know, thanks for the smokescreen, Mr. Lo Yang, but we had to dodge some torpedoes, so we weren't really able to take advantage of it. And the Chapayev's got radar anyway, so yeah, we're now in a fantastic position, bow tanking the Chapayev, who can only really do damage with high explosive at this kind of angle, and the two remaining other enemy ships have a dirty great big island between us and them, so it's just us and the Chapayev. Ah, over penetration. Second salvo, bingo! Welcome to World of Battleship RNG. First salvo, over-penetrates. Second salvo, Citadel. Chew on that one, sucker. And there are the other two remaining enemy ships, one of which, of course, is a destroyer, but he's been spotted by the rest of the team, so Flamu knows he doesn't have to worry about chewing any torpedoes just now. And remember, cool ships don't look at explosions. Sayonara, Mr. Chapayev. Kill number 6. Shots out at the Moskva. Come on, roll them dice. And boom, headshots. Cruiser deleted, double strike, kill number 7. And just to add insult to injury, enemy base capped. 1,000 points, game over. The enemy Fletcher lives to lose again another day. Check that out. 4 of 5 combat missions complete. 252,000 damage, nearly 1,000,000 credits, and over 10,000 experience. High caliber, Kraken. Double Strike, Confederate. He's just showing off now, isn't he? So that's Flamu in the Grosser Kurfürst, German Tier 10 battleship. If you like what you've seen and you want to see more, he has his own YouTube channel and he streams regularly on Twitch, playing mostly World of Warships because he's really rather good at it. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Flamu, thank you for sending that one in. Always a pleasure to host your replays, and as always, everybody, take care, and I'll catch you next time.